Imagine a life of tireless labor and quiet humiliation, where every day is a battle, and the future seems like an endless desert. Now, imagine that all of it can change in a single heart-stopping moment. One unexpected strike of your shovel against the ground, revealing not just soil, but the brilliant flash of an incalculable fortune. This is the story of a man whose quiet persistence turned a life of servitude into a multi-million-dollar tale of triumph. But before the glory there was only the grind. Meet Thomas Miller. A simple, honest name for a man whose existence was defined by the earth. Not the land he owned, but the land he toiled for others. For nearly 3 decades, Thomas worked on the expansive estate of Mr. Harrington, a wealthy landowner known more for his vast estate than for his kindness. From dawn till dusk, Thomas's life was a relentless cycle of plowing, planting, and harvesting. His muscles ached, his face was weathered by the sun, but his spirit was bruised most of all. The humiliations were constant. Minor mistakes were met with public reprimands. Promises of bonuses were often forgotten. Thomas was merely a tool in Harrington's hands, and his self-respect was tested daily. Yet, deep within his quiet resolve, Thomas nursed a fire. A humble yet burning dream, to own his own small patch of land. A place where he could sow his own seeds and harvest his own crops, finally free from the shadow of another man's authority. Every dollar Thomas earned was a hard-won step toward freedom. He lived sparingly, wore threadbare clothes, and avoided any expense beyond necessity. Neighbors saw him as a simple man, perhaps eccentric in his frugality. But they did not know the fire that burned within. Years turned into decades. Thomas's youth transitioned into a maturity aged by sun and labor. But the tin box, his secret repository of savings, grew heavier. Every clink of metal against metal was a symphony of approaching liberty. Finally the day arrived. With trembling hands, Thomas counted his earnings. It was enough. Not for a sprawling farm like Harrington's, but for a small, overlooked lot. A patch of land, perhaps forgotten by others, but one that would be his. The acquisition was not without sacrifice. Thomas poured every dollar, every cent earned from decades of sweat into this venture, hoping for a future. His vision was clear: grow corn, sell the harvest, and finally live a life of earned dignity. The land was modest, a little rocky in some areas, but to Thomas, it was paradise. It was the promise of a fresh start. With his own tools, the very ones he had wielded for Harrington, but now with a completely different purpose, he began his work. The sun still burned and blisters still formed on his hands, but this time the pain felt different. It was the ache of building, not of bowing. He felt the earth beneath his feet, an earth that now answered only to him. His plan was straightforward: prepare the soil, plant his corn, and watch it grow. It would be backbreaking work, but freedom was worth every strain. He imagined the golden ears of corn, the satisfaction of selling his own produce at the local market. One afternoon, as Thomas was digging near a particularly rocky section of his land, his shovel struck something unusual. It wasn't a common stone. The sound was different, the sensation peculiar. With a quickened heart, he knelt down and began clearing the earth around the object. Slowly, a shape emerged from the dirt. It wasn't an opaque rock, nor a piece of quartz he recognized. It was something that shimmered. A brilliant, unmistakable light, even through the film of dust and soil. With hands that trembled from more than just exertion, he lifted the object. It was rough, uneven, but through the layer of grime, an internal fire radiated. A brilliance he had never witnessed before. It didn't take long for the shocking realization to hit him like a thunderbolt. It was a diamond. Not a small chip, but a gargantuan gem of stunning size, with a clarity and cut that promised something extraordinary. This forgotten patch of land, this small plot he had spent a lifetime saving to buy, had been hiding a secret that would change everything. In the days that followed, Thomas lived in a whirlwind of disbelief and profound hope. He cleaned the diamond with meticulous care, revealing its true, breathtaking beauty. Its color, its clarity, its size, all indicated that this was not just a diamond, but a geological marvel. A spectacular rarity. With his heart pounding, Thomas traveled to the nearest city, seeking out a respected gemologist. The appraisal moment was thick with suspense. The jeweler, a seasoned professional, examined the stone through a loupe, and his eyes widened. He could barely contain his shock. "Sir," the gemologist whispered, his voice catching, this is not simply a diamond. It is an exceptional quality gem of a type rarely, if ever, found in this region. It is priceless. The stone's valuation far exceeded Thomas's wildest expectations. Not thousands but millions of dollars. The plot of land he bought for a modest price now held a fortune many times over its cost. This was truly a treasure of the earth. With the sale of the diamond, Thomas Miller's life changed overnight. The decades of deprivation and humiliation were replaced by a security he had never dared to dream of. He did not pursue extravagance. Instead, he bought a comfortable, spacious home, where he would never again have to worry about the next paycheck. His land, which was once a hope, was now a guarantee. He planted his corn not out of desperation but out of fulfillment. Out of deep gratitude. He hired workers, paying them fair wages, always mindful of his own difficult journey. Thomas never forgot where he came from. His new status never blinded him to the value of hard work or the dignity of every individual. And as for Mr. Harrington? Thomas's life became a silent, powerful testament that true wealth lies not just in what you own, but in the journey you take to achieve it, and the humility you show along the way. The story of Thomas Miller teaches us that perseverance, even in the face of crushing adversity, can be rewarded in ways we never expect. That fortune can be hidden where we least anticipate it, waiting right beneath our feet. Sometimes all it takes is a little bit of luck, a steady faith, and the courage to dig deep, both into the ground and into your own resolve. Who knows what treasures are waiting to be uncovered in your own backyard? What did you think of Thomas's incredible discovery? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this powerful tale of unexpected riches, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Treasures of the Earth for more stories of fortune and profound discovery. Until next time.